So I've been doing a series of videos on management, and there are 4 key areas of management that we want to look at. And the first of those that I want to address is clarity. So clarity around about job role. How can you meet an expectation that hasn't been set? Often what I find in businesses is people aren't just really clear what's expected of them, and it's the number one thing that stresses people out at work. And the Gallup 12 survey, if you're familiar with that, it's the first question of the 12 questions that they ask, and they've surveyed thousands and hundreds of thousands of businesses. So do I know what's expected of me at work? So how clear are you with your team and with those around you of what their expectations are? Now, for me, there's 3 main things that we need to look at. The first is role. Are you really clear on what role you expect that person to play? And that should have been thought about, before we recruited or onboarded them. What are the things that they will be doing that will allow you to see if that role is going to be a success? And that should have been communicated to them ahead of joining the organisation, but definitely on day one, so they'll get absolute clarity on what the role is and what they're doing on a day-to-day basis, and ultimately how their role fits into the rest of the organisation and what they're trying to achieve. The second one for me is numbers. So clarity around about numbers. Now, some businesses use KPIs, key performance indicators, and other businesses use measures of success, whatever is right for your business. But how clear are you on managing the numbers of what the people are expected to achieve and to hit? And how often do you talk to them about it? A big thing for me is having regular and consistent one-to-one meetings, which is a video for another time. But on those regular and consistent meetings, we need to be talking to people about their performance. And numbers is a key one, and KPIs or whatever you want to use is a key one. So they know and they can quantify how well they're doing in the role against a set of pre-agreed numbers, which are again driving to the bigger business success. And the third thing for me is behaviours and standards. Now, with all the businesses I've come across and worked with, often this is the one that's maybe less strong in an organisation. So when I talk about behaviours, what I mean with that is the behaviours really should lean on the vision and values piece of the organisation. And it's something I see done not so well in a lot of places. Even people who have got values, often they're on a website or, words on a wall somewhere. Do you really bring your values to life? Do you really weave them into the culture of your organisation? And if you have a values document and actually have some words about what it's like to work here and what's a good way to behave when you're here, and maybe what's not such a good way to behave, it means when you're having a conversation with someone about behaviours, it's a much easier conversation to have because it takes away the subjectivity of it, because we've got a document that we can reference and say, okay, good behaviours are this, bad behaviours are this, where do you think you fall? So the behaviours really lean on the values piece. And then we've got standards, and I'll steal with pride when I see a good idea. I was at a conference a couple of years ago and Clive Woodward was there, and he talks about teamship rules. And it's a great thing to look at. And that would be where within your unit or your team within the organisation, you just agree some things of how things are going to be done around here. So it might be that for meetings, for example, everyone agrees that you turn up 10 minutes before, ready, with all your things prepared, so the meeting can actually start on time rather than everyone shuffling in at the agreed start time. So that might be an idea of standards. And having a few of those in the business is a good thing. And you've got to have the ones that are right for you, but the team come up with them, you don't come up with them. But another video of Sir Clive Woodward to watch will take you through some of the detail of that. Because what we want with people is we want them to be, not blaming each other or blaming you for not being clear on what they're doing. We want to move them from blame to responsibility so they can take absolute ownership of what they're doing and take responsibility within their role.